Alright, so in today's video, I got the Platinum Trophy on Sea of Thieves. And if you somehow don't know what Sea of Thieves is, it's essentially like the biggest and best pirate game ever made from Xbox Game Studios. It released way back in prime of life, the year 2018. Take me back, please. But back in 2024, it finally did go cross-platform and it found its way onto the PlayStation. Yes, it is very weird saying that I platinumed Sea of Thieves. To be honest, it kind of does feel wrong. However, this game is giant. It has the largest trophy list I have ever seen a game have on PlayStation with 291 total trophies. Thankfully, only 51 including the platinum are required for the base game and platinum trophy. The trophy guide estimates it takes around 90 hours to platinum this game. However, I did it in about 56 hours of playtime because I am just built like that. Now, starting off Sea of Thieves, it's a bit of a mess at first. This really is one of those games where you have to experience things firsthand because reading tips and tricks doesn't do it just. But in total, there's 4 stages spanning our time today with the platinum. And stage 1 to this game is a bit vague, but it's to purchase a captained ship. And this is the overall goal of the stage, but that will cost us 250,000 gold. Far before that, however, I just did the tutorial because it has been a very long time since I played Sea of Thieves on my PC when it released. But upon loading, I actually got a trophy from my old account called I Want to Be a Pirate from increasing my reputation level with a trading company. Now, this is something a bit further in the game, so my apologies for using my old account at first. I would end up restarting completely with a fresh one after to help not bug out some of the trophies, but that popped, so oopsie daisies. Anyways, in the tutorial, which is called the Maiden Voyage, you just get introduced to some initial mechanics. I also ended up getting a few trophies right off the bat during this, 2 of which popped at the same time. One being from getting sick from undercooked food, and the other from vomiting for the first time. And I did this by shooting a chicken the second they gave me a gun, and then consuming it raw. I guess going raw was a bad idea after all. But then I did finish the tutorial by just setting sail. Just kidding, I actually left the game because I didn't want to fix the entire ship. And I also do remember at least some of the sailing mechanics from back in the day. So back in the menu, I then made my character for a time today, and god damn it, Xbox, they make you pay $10 just to have another character on your account. What kind of microtransaction bullshit is this, bro? Please drop a like and subscribe. I have literally no money. Anyways, yeah, after emptying my pockets and quite literally bending over once more, I then made my character and I outfitted him to look like the most generic alcoholic grandfather you could ever imagine, but not too fat as to be a big target for enemies to shoot at and kill. And finally, once I did start playing with my fresh account, I began to chase down the tutorial trophies. The big 3 trading companies of this game, being the Gold Hoarders, Order of Souls, and the Merchant Alliance, all have trophies tied to them as you play, and tutorial missions with trophies themselves from them. So I looked around for a bit and then I began doing the tutorial for the Gold Hoarders because they were the first one on the chopping block. And each of these tutorials is again just more intro into how the basics of things work. I did get a few trophies during this, however. One from just setting sail for the first time, which is very simple, although this also was a bit bugged and it just randomly popped while I was in the midst of the tutorial mission, and that's an unfortunate aspect of this game. Some of the trophies are very buggy and they just don't pop when they should at all. It's very annoying, and at this point in my platinum career, I am so dead inside, I don't even care anymore. It's just a part of the journey. I then got another trophy called Handbrake Turn, which I would use a lot, and that's gotten from just anchoring with a fully turned wheel, also going full speed. We don't mention how this might break your ship in real life because it's a video game and it's fine. Now, for whatever reason, the Gold Hoarder Trading Company does not have a trophy from completing one of its voyages. It's very weird because the other 2 both do, so I'm not sure why. But there is a trophy from finishing a Gold Hoarder voyage that's tied to the DLC of this game. It makes 0 sense. What did Xbox mean by this? We'll never know. Anyways, after that Gold Hoarder tutorial mission, which pretty much summing up this faction, it's just about digging up treasure and selling it, hence the gold hoarding name. I then did the Order of Souls tutorial, and this one does give a trophy after completion called Taking Orders. Now, the Order of Souls is honestly my favorite trading company of the game because it's very heavily combat focused and it's entirely PvE, meaning you don't need to engage with any salty sailors out there, if you know what I'm saying. Also, fighting skeleton bosses is far more interesting than looking at a damn treasure map and digging up the wrong spot 6 times because you have no directional awareness. Anyways, back to the Order of Souls voyage that I was on. All you had to do was sail to an island where the bounty was at, kill all the skeletons until the boss shows up, which is outlined in a red name, and then also kill him. Take his skull that gets dropped and then sell it to the Order of Souls lady, who is an absolute freak, by the way. I mean, she's running the Order of Souls, and yeah, the trophy will pop. Now, the third and final tutorial voyage that we need to do is for the Merchant Alliance, and these are the quote-unquote respectable trading company people because they focus entirely on the the sell of goods opposed to skeleton heads and gold. Goods like animals, cloth, rum, because why not? And in the tutorial, your goal is to just grab a chicken from a beach and then deliver to someone named in the quest form. If you can't guess already, this also is the most boring out of any trading company and what I would save till the very last to grind out. But this tutorial voyage was very easy, and after doing it, I got the trophy right here, along with the just getting started trophy from completing the tutorial of each major 3 trading companies. Very nice indeed. So with all of those tutorials done with, I then began to grind out the Order of the Souls first. And I grinded out voyages to gain reputation and get to level 50. You must reach level 50 on the Order of Souls, Gold Hoarders, and Merchant Alliance to unlock Pirate Legend status, and that's the longest trophy in the game by far. It takes between 12 to 20 hours per trading company to reach level 50, and it's just god-awfully tedious. Especially since I did this all in 1 week of playing. Literally waking up and just dying inside. It was horrible. But while grinding out the Order of Souls, I got quite a few trophies right away. One of which was called Bone Crunch, from killing a skeleton while it was crunching or trying to heal itself while eating a banana. I also did this on complete accident, but many times skeletons will do this action, so this trophy is actually very easy to get, and here it is popping. About 10 minutes later, I then reached the first promotion threshold for the Order of Souls, which was at level 5. There is a promotion at every 5 levels, by the way, and for the most part, this just unlocks harder and better voyages for us to do for better and better loot, but here's that trophy popping. And during more voyages, I also ran into another cruise ship on my adventures. Now, this wasn't an actual player crew, but rather one of those ghost ships which just pop up to harass you at random times. I genuinely hate these things, but I destroyed it, and then I just kept on grinding away for about 2 more hours of playtime until I would ultimately disconnect from the game because, I don't honestly remember. This was a week ago now. But upon loading back in, I got 2 trophies which didn't pop while playing because the trophies in this game, again, are so bugged and delayed, they don't work out the time. The first one I got was from sinking another cruise ship, and now I looked through my recording, and that never happened unless the ghost ship counts, so thanks. And the other trophy I got was called Full Billow, from sailing with all sails fully to the wind. Again, this should have popped hours ago, but it didn't until now, so okay. But about an hour then passed, and my boy Asukini got on the game, and we began to do, or, try to do some of the co-op trophies that needed a crew member to just get them out of the way with the first one I got, called Friend Not Foe, from performing a pirate salute gesture to befriend somebody in the game. And again, it did not pop when I did it, but rather after leaving and then rejoining the game. You're killing me, Sea of Thieves. Killing me. Thankfully, back in the game, the next co-op trophy did work from just voting on a voyage put forward by a crewmate, so yay, one finally worked. I can't do this anymore. 20 minutes after that trophy popped, we were then doing more voyages and ran into our first real crew of people in the game at Plunder Outpost. Now, outposts aren't like safe zones, but it's generally known to not f up people at them because of common pirate code. However, I just jumped on their ship and looked for loot, and they didn't have any, but I also read their logbook, which showed all of the gold they have gotten, many other stats, and more, and it's also a trophy called a Crude Wisdom from reading another crew's book, so cool. And a few minutes after that, since me and the boy were still doing voyages, I also unlocked 10 commendations total, and these are just like passive badges you unlock from cashing in treasures, killing things, covers a very big variety of actions in the game, and just doing 10 is a trophy. You also do not have to grind these out at all, it's going to pop no matter what as you play. Now, me and the homie would then realize that the rest of Stage 3's trophies required opposing players, and we belligerently gave up for the night because this game is exhausting. So we scuttled the ship and then played our little instruments out till we sunk, getting a Titanic Ensemble trophy from playing a song while it sank. And while we were dead, I also got the Dead Pirates Do Tell Tales trophy from using a quick chat on the Ferry of the Damned. GG's, baby. So I hopped on the next day and I played for about 2 hours before any trophies popped, and that's just because I got all of the easy ones out of the way with already. But I would finally discover this amazing tool called Diving to Voyages. For whatever reason, I wasn't doing this already, but by selecting dive when doing one, you basically just teleport to it. It saves a shitload of time, and I am an idiot. However, after diving to my first Order of the Souls voyage and doing it, I also got a trophy called Voyager of the Soul from doing just that. Very nice indeed. I then played for 3 more hours without much of anything happening. I know I've already expressed how tedious this game is, but you really do just play the same voyages over and over to get more loot, gold, etc. However, during these 3 hours, I would also get joined up by a legend named Era, who was also grinding the platinum and watches the videos. Shout out to bro, we played for like 40-ish hours together together. It was kind of crazy. Anyways, once he joined, my reputation fast-tracked with the Order of Souls because now I was finishing twice as fast. And I would end up reaching level 15 right here, which then allowed me to buy the emissary flag for the Order of Souls. And this essentially just makes us a direct worker for them, I guess. Also allowing for our location to be shown towards others and increasing the value of our ship with the more loot we gather, therefore fast-tracking progress even more. Although a much higher risk is now posed to us. And you also get a trophy called Ship of Souls from raising the flag for the first time, by the way, right here. Now 30 minutes after that, I also did just dip from our lobby and then buy my own ship because I finally had enough gold to do so. And that also finished off stage 1 of the trophy guide and platinum trophy in itself. Amazing. But I would hop on later that day to farm out more rep and all of that. Also finding my first of many game-breaking bugs today. This one was just a simple climbing bug, and for whatever reason when I played this game, I would get this all the time and it would not let me climb up any ladders in the game, meaning I'm basically just handicapped, literally. But moving on from that ridiculous bug in a decade-old game nearly, I would get 3 trophies in near succession. First called But You Have Heard of Me, from reaching level 25 in any trading company. Obviously, I did this with the Order of Souls because it's the one I'm grinding out right now, so here's the trophy pop. And again, to raise your level, you just do voyages. It's very boring. I then got the 5-a-day trophy from eating at least 1 piece of every kind of fruit. These fruit are pineapples, mangoes, pomegranates, coconuts, and bananas. You'll without a doubt get this as you play because fruit is the main way to heal, so yeah, GG, and here's the trophy pop. And finally, in this little splurge of trophies, I got the Chasing the Horizon trophy from spending 10 total days at sea aboard a captain's ship. Not 10 real-life days, but 10 in-game days. And yeah, again, passive trophy pop. Now here's when the grind really set in because I was almost at level 50 of Order of Souls now, and 2 of my next 3 trophies were all related to reaching maximum rank in Order of the Souls. I played for about 8-ish hours more, and then I would finally get to level 50, popping me the Master of the Order trophy from purchasing, well, the Master of the Order promotion unlocked at level 50. This also did give me the self-entitled trophy from owning 10 pirate titles total. I also just bought an upgraded item from the shop, which was another trophy called In Good Company. I don't really understand, but hey, it worked. So at this point, we're also inside of stage 2 for good now. And we will be here for a while because as I said in the beginning, Pirate Legend requires level 50 on each of the big 3 trading companies. And I chased down the gold hoarders next, getting my next 3 trophies all from them in itself. First from doing the typical Dive 2 mission and completing it. Then from having 20 chests in my possession at one time, which isn't actually that hard if you do the forts over and over, but it is quite stressful because you don't want to die with, 20 chests on your ship. And then finally, golden ticket from just becoming an emissary of the gold hoarders. Very, very simple trophy. I'm also going to be breezing through some of these trophies now since they are just the same as the Order of Souls, but with the gold hoarders. I then went 2 more days of playing without any more trophies popping. Anyways, I got on after working out one day and I decided to farm out some trophies because I hadn't gotten any in literally days. And there's actually quite a lot of customization trophies in this game. So I just went through the list and did them all. Starting with just buying a new blunderbuss and a new Eye of Reach, both of which are just guns you can use. I then bought some customization for my ship and I actually did try and make it look cool. I understood I would be here a lot in my playtime. I might as well make it look clean. I then bought an entire new outfit so I looked more like the rich, divorced alcoholic grandpa and not just the alcoholic one. And this did include buying a new hook, a new peg leg, eye patch, and hat for that trophy, by the way. I then bought a plethora of trinkets and I placed 15 total at least on my ship for the art collector trophy. And finally, the last ship customization trophy, which was from saving it all. GG's baby, and here's that trophy pop. So I then got the plane once more, and 3 hours later, I would get another trophy from just burning a piece of food. Very weird, but kind of funny, and here it is. And 40 minutes after that, I also did finally reach level 50 on gold hoarders, and I got that trophy from doing so. This game is boring as shit. So I then began the Merchant Alliance trophies, and these function the same as the rest, but even more boring because it's the hardest one to actually level up out of any for quite a few reasons. However, the first trophy from diving and completing a mission I did do right away, and here it is popping. I also did notice that it was nighttime, and real fast I cooked a coconut for a trophy called a Dining with the Stars from cooking food at a campfire at night. Easy peasy. 20 minutes later, I then unlocked the emissary for the Merchant Alliance, and I got that Trade Ambassador trophy as well. And the next day, after hours and hours of farming, me and the homie Era were still at it and decided to farm out the perfect dark trophy from sailing through a storm with no lights during the night. This is one of the most buggy trophies in the game I tried, and I did it numerous times with no luck, but after 2 hours of us doing this shit, it finally popped, and I hate this game. We also would run into a lot of other players while playing in our session, and I got got the Hold My Grog trophy from launching myself into another player's ship and landing on it. And this is actually very hard, so I suggest finding a galleon, which is the giant ship, so you have a better chance at staying on like I did right here. However, 2 hours after I finally reached Master Merchant, or level 50 of the Merchant Alliance, and I got that trophy pop finally, along with the Pirate Legend trophy, Jesus Christ. And that is stage 2 finished. I want to cry, and I have a major headache right now from this game. So the next 2 stages are sort of the same, being just cleanups of the remaining trophies. And the first one I got was from just letting Era be the captain of our ship for a bit, because he had a far more leveled up Athena's Fortune and Reaper Bones Trading Company, which are 2 of the miscellaneous companies I need to engage with. And I got the trophy, Oh Captain, from setting sail as a crewmate. He then raised us the emissary flag for Athena's Fortune, which got me the trophy even though I didn't do it myself. Thanks, game. And then we just dived to a voyage for Athena's Fortune, which is like an advanced trading company if you don't know. It's kind of the same as the Gold Hoarders in a way, but it's a bit more complex. And after doing our first voyage, successfully got the trophy from it. We then spent an hour grinding out the Collector of Legendary Treasures trophy, from finding and selling 1 of each legendary treasure. These include the Chalice of Ancient Fortune, Crate of Legendary Voyages, Skull of Ancient Fortune, Gilded Relic of Ancient Fortune, Villainous Skull of Ancient Fortune, and finally the rarest being the Keg of Ancient Black Powder. All of these can be gotten by just doing voyages for Athena's Fortune and some world events, so overall it's just RNG, and we actually got super lucky with a few, so the trophy popped very much faster than I expected. Now that was all of the Athena's Fortune trophies, so real fast I just told Era to raise the emissary flag for the Reaper Bones, because that is the only trophy for that trading company, and it popped for me even though I was literally level 1. Amazing game. Now we then chased down the Kraken, and the trophy guide makes it seem very hard to spawn the Kraken and fight it because it's completely RNG. And I don't know if the developers were listening or what, but the second I started saying we should go for the Kraken, the motherfucker just spawned in out of nowhere. I legit played this game for a week straight, never saw it once, and the second I need it, it just appears. Love this game. Thank you. God bless. So we just killed it. The fight was actually very, very easy, and it's almost laughable how easy it was, but then the trophy did pop. Let's go, baby. So all my remaining trophies are just co-op and stage 3, I guess, before the platinum. I had a few issues getting these, but overall it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. At least, you know, most of them. The first 6 were very simple. However, the last one was, not so much. To start, we ended up running into some very weird players at a Reaper outpost, and this dude named Among Us or something like that was very lost, but I managed to throw up on him as he had a sword out for the tactical Chunder trophy. I also ended up getting my attack blocked and then being hit by him for the chicken fight trophy, and finally on him I also blocked and then struck him from behind for the merchant fighting trophy. And that was all I managed to get out of Among Us guy before he betrayed us. Fuck you, bro. However, we did run into another random dude later on, and he unfortunately had a broken Seal Reaper chest on his ship, meaning it was full of skeletons ready to kill us. Thankfully, I managed to climb aboard quick enough and get 1 trophy off this guy, from just using a heavy attack to knock him off the ship. Easy peasy. Now the last 3 trophies I needed, we tried to get with this group of 4 randoms we ran into, who were all new to the game, and we even went so far as to doing an entire voyage for them to try and get a captain's chest to spawn in. Spoiler, we were not successful. However, the big brain plan was to just find one, have them dig it up, and then just take it and then sell it for the you can always trust the untrustworthy trophy. Spoiler, again, it didn't work at all, but I did manage to get the I'll drink that trophy from drinking grog with another crew at an outpost, and then the kill an opponent from behind with a blunderbuss, so, you know, not a complete fail. And after 2 more hours of failing and trying to find more people with a captain's chest, I came up with a brilliant idea that worked first try. Call me a genius, or just call me a man with complete desperation. But if you do a Sea Fort as the Gold Hoarders Trading Company, you are guaranteed at least 3 captain's chests in the vault. So me and Era did that, but then didn't take or even touch any of the loot. Instead, we just dipped, completely left it unlooted, and sailed around to find a player. Thankfully, we found a nice lad who was willing to talk, and we convinced him to hop aboard and then come grab the loot for us and put it on our ship. Was he just very bored? Did Its Illusion just convince him so good with his insanely high level of conversational skills? All of the above, because bro did small talk the entire time. And then he was also very willing to just take all of the loot over to the ship before he just went to his mermaid and said farewell. Shout out to this guy, by the way, saved the day. And then we just sailed to the nearest outpost, and after selling the captain's chest, I got the trophy and the platinum trophy on Sea of Thieves. Words can't even describe how tedious this game was and how much I hated my time today.